Hello and welcome to the Molly Klein Design Podcast. My name is Molly and you are joining me for episode number 6. Today is March 15th, 2018. I haven't podcasted in a while and I thought that I would sit down this morning, have a cup of coffee with y'all, and show you what I've been working on. So it is a gorgeous March day outside. The sun is shining. Is beautiful. I have the windows open. A beautiful day and a beautiful day to record a podcast. So you can find me as Molly Klein Design on Etsy, Instagram, Ravelry, and I think that's all the places I am. Well, of course, here on YouTube. I am drinking this morning out of my new Knit Picks mug. It just says, "Happiness is handmade" on my favorite color, peach skein of yarn, and I just had to have this mug. It's adorable, and I'm drinking coffee with the new Coffee Mate Cheesecake Factory Strawberry Cheesecake Creamer, and it is amazing. You need to try it. I'm not even a big cheesecake eater, and it's so yummy, so try the strawberry one. So I'm just going to show you what I've been working on today, a few things that are in the shop. I started a quilt, I started a cross stitch, my knit projects, my crochet projects, so I've got quite a bit to show you this morning. So let's get started. I'm going to start with my latest design that I've released. So it is a big one. Alright, so this is my Michigan Avenue wrap. It is knit all in DK weight yarn and is available on Ravelry. So it is thicker than a scarf, but thinner than a shawl, so that's why I've called it a wrap. And it's so wearable. I absolutely adore this. This is definitely my new favorite thing that I've ever knit. It was just so fun to design and work up. And one side has a point, and I put a tassel. I put a total of 3 tassels on it. And this is, knit completely out of my yarn. So this is also the first project I've completely knit out of Sweet Tea yarns. So we started all the way back here. This is in my Darling DK base. It is 100% Superwash Merino. This is the colorway Ink, this tonal black. This green is Green Tea Matcha. And this is Taken for Granted, the speckled gray. It is a fun knit, super easy, super fast. Even for the slowest knitter in the world, me, I was able to whip this up in about 3 weeks. So I'm not going to give too much about it away, but it is available on Ravelry now. And I will definitely be making a fingering weight pattern of it soon. The reason it's called the Michigan Avenue wrap is I was born and raised right outside Chicago. And now being down here in Indy, I miss it a lot. So when I was designing this and working it up, I was just thinking about the city. So these 2 colors kind of represent the city, and the neon pop, which is the funness of Chicago. That's even a word. I'm just gonna go with it. But yeah, and I had some left over, so I made some tassels, which were super fun. I still have a little bit left, so this took 3 skeins. I have enough left to make like a baby hat or something, so I could definitely make a hat, and that could be for either gender. But yeah, Michigan Avenue wrap, super wearable. I just love this project. So many knitting friends are knitting this right now. I know Laura from Knit for Brains is knitting it out of my colorways, which is super exciting to see. My friend Carla on Instagram is knitting it. So many people. Christy from Yarn Cafe Creations, you could see hers on her podcast as well. It's so exciting. So I can't wait to see everybody's Michigan Avenue wrap. Tag me in your Instagram photos, send me a picture. I am so excited. I have had several people purchase Michigan Avenue wrap kits in my shop, and it's just so exciting to see your pattern worked up by other people. Their ideas, their different colorways, their knitting techniques. I am just so excited. So that is my latest pattern release. I have also released one other pattern since I've recorded last, and I have one more probably will be releasing this weekend. So I have definitely got the designing bug. The other, sorry for reaching, but the other pattern I've designed is the Fast Fade Socks. And this was knit out of the Yarn at Home Moms Advent Calendar Minis. And I love how this worked out. And yes, I only have one. I have second sock syndrome on all socks, so I needed to, next time, cast them both on at the same time. That's the only way I can get both done. But the pattern is up on Ravelry, and I don't know the yarn colorways, but they are beautiful. This one has something to do with hot chocolate or mocha. I know that one for sure. And my new favorite obsession is the Afterthought Heel by Kirby Werby. You can look it up on YouTube, her video tutorial. It is so easy. I have seen so many podcasters do the Afterthought Heel, and I always freaked out because I thought I would never be able to do it. It is super easy. Don't be scared of the Afterthought Heel, y'all. It is so easy and so fun. And honestly, you don't really cut your knitting. You just snip one stitch, and then you unravel it with your, like a darning needle or something, so that way you'll still have enough to weave in your ends. But this is the Fast Fade Socks, and it is available on Ravelry as well. We are doing, I didn't mention this, but in the Ravelry group, we are doing a fast fade along. So on the MollyKleinDesign Ravelry group, you can just search it in the groups tab, and there is a chatter thread and an FO thread for the MollyKleinDesign Fast Fade Along. So you can knit my Fast Fade Fingerless Mitts, Fast Fade Socks, Fast Fade Cowl, or Fast Fade Beanie. And the knit along ends on the end of March. So you still got a couple weeks. Those are all very easy knits. The socks would probably take a little bit longer than 2 weeks for me and for a lot of people, but a lot of people can knit a pair of socks in a weekend. And the cowl and the beanie, fingerless mitts, are definitely a weekend project. So check that out. My next, this is a big one too. My next finished object is my husband's flax sweater. So this is a pattern by Tin Can Knits, and I knit him the size medium flax. I did do the garter detail on the arms. I knit it a few inches longer than the pattern called for. And not much to say about this. It was my first completed sweater. I've started another sweater last summer and I haven't finished it. That is my fingering weight, oh my god, fingering weight flax light, and I'm fading it, and it's just become quite sluggish, just because it is for me and it's not a gift, so I'm not really rushing it. And it's fingering weight sweater, so even though that is also a size medium, it's just been taking obviously quite a long time. But he loves this. This was in Hobby Lobby's. I love this yarn. I did it in an acrylic soft yarn because he has a little bit of a sensitivity to wool near his neck. So just to make it super wearable, super washable, I did it in the I Love This yarn. I forgot the colorway name. If I remember, I will put it on the screen. Just a really pretty gray color. And he really likes it. He just wants me to bring the neck in a little bit, because when he wears it, it turns into like a boat neck, and he's not a fan of that aspect of it. So what I'm honestly going to do is just single crochet a couple rows on the collar for him. So that is my other finished object. It was a super fun project. I enjoyed knitting it. It was a quick knit. It could have been a lot quicker. I had the body done and one sleeve right before his birthday. The first plan was to give it to him for Christmas. That did not happen. The second plan was to give it to him for his birthday, which was June 3rd. For his birthday, which was January 13th, and I got the flu the week before. So I didn't want to knit anything or look at yarn or leave the couch, so that just ended up, I gave him the sweater on his birthday wrapped up with one sleeve on waste yarn because it was not done. He loved it. He really appreciated the thought behind it, and he is super knitworthy. He is the most knitworthy person that I have in my life. So he will be getting a lot more hand knit things from me. He wears the highlighter yellow hat that I made him last year, still this year, for his job. He works on road construction, and all the guys on his crew really want a hand knit hat in that highlighter yellow colorway, which is the hardest colorway to find. I thought Hobby Lobby would have it. They don't. I bought it. It's Vanna's Choice, the one I have. So our Joann Fabrics was out of it, so I'm either going to have to order some online or check another Joann's when we go visit family up north, because he deserves another one. His is looking pretty shabby after wearing it for so long. And his best friend on the crew also really wants one. So I'll make him one, but not everybody on the crew. I mean, not everybody's knitworthy. You know this. So yeah, that's all my finished objects right now. I have another finished object, which is my latest design that I can't show you just yet. I need to block it and have it photographed, and then the pattern will be published and I can show you next time. So, works in progress. Watch me whip. I have more whips than I've ever had, honestly, in my whole life, I think, and I still want to cast on more, which is not something I should be doing at all. So I gotta finish some of these things. Some of them are for Cal's, so they'll give me a little bit of motivation to hurry up and get them done. So the first one I want to show you is it's super stuffed. It is from my Lost and Found bag. So it's from the Lost and Found shop on Etsy. From Lindsay, we did a bag swap, and I love this fabric that she picked out for me and this really fun metallic on the bottom. So what is stuffed to the brim with a Sasquatch, which is so funny. Look at the foot! So I am taking part in Truffle Shuffle. Jensen on Instagram is doing a Yeti along. So we are all making Yetis and Sasquatches. It's a Cal on Instagram. So basically you post a picture a week of which limbs that you've been knitting, and she draws from the people that have tagged her. So I am knitting this out of, I have this one caked up. This is Knit Picks Mighty Stitch. It is 20% superwash wool, 80% acrylic, 208 yards, worsted weight. The pattern, I believe, called for bulky. I'm not sure. But I had this in my stash. It is super soft, so I thought I would make a Sasquatch out of it. I have the other two limbs already done. So this is the hand, and this is a paid-for pattern on Ravelry. This is the foot. I think these are hilarious. And this is actually my first knitted toy. I have crocheted several amigurumis, but I've never knit a toy before. And I have to say it is quite a bit more fiddly than crochet, because it's such a small item, and you've got either your huge circular, I'm doing mine on magic loop, so you've either got your huge circular needle or, you know, DPNs, which I am not a fan of. So it's been a learning curve. But look at those little bobble toes. Isn't that hilarious? So I can't wait for this is done. And the next part is the body, and it's scaring me a little bit because I saw the word intarsia in the pattern, and I've never done intarsia before. So we shall see how that works out. So my next work in progress is, I am taking part in Yarn Hoarder's dishcloth challenge. So her dishcloth challenge, which is a cal she's running on Instagram as well, you knit or crochet a dishcloth a week. So at the end of the year, you will have 52 dishcloths to either gift or keep for yourself. So I've only done 2, so I'm really behind on this challenge, but they are the same color, and no, I haven't woven the ends in yet, but I will. It is a beautiful tonal baby blue or sky blue. I'm just doing Grandma's favorite dishcloth pattern minus the yarn overs. And it is fun. I mean, I've crocheted for over 10 years. And I've probably crocheted 200 to 300 dishcloths. So it's fun to knit some too. I have them in a Do What You Love bag that I just bought at a really cool antique store. I just had to have this little bag. I thought it would be perfect for projects. And these are both out of Lily Sugar and Cream. This one, I don't have the ball band. It has something to do with a garden, and I forgot. But they're just the Lily Sugar and Cream. I have about 30 balls of sugar and cream in my stash, probably 10 balls of peaches and cream, which is like the Walmart brand, and at least 20 skeins of Hobby Lobby's I Love This Cotton. So I'm trying to not buy any more. I really want to try Knit Picks Dishy, but I'm trying not to buy any more cotton yarn because I have so much, I want to use it up. And these make great gifts. Every time we go to a wedding, I think it's such a good gift to, you know, as well as your other like household things that they have on the registry, just to tuck a few of these in because everybody can use a dishcloth. So I started another one. These are on Clover Bamboo US 7 needles, and that little cookie is from Simply Serving HK Lindsay Etsy shop. And so yeah, I just started this one. I have mathematically found out that with just the regular 50 gram, I think this is 50 grams ball, you can do 2 in the variegated colorways, because the variegated colorways of Sugar and Cream have less yardage than the tonals. I'm glad hand-dyed yarn isn't like that. But the variegated colorways have a few less yards. So if I go all the way up to, I think, 39 across and then start decreasing, I can get 2. And I didn't cut any yarn. This was I played yarn chicken here. This was all I had left. So I went 39 across, and that way I have no leftovers, which is awesome, and I get 2, so I get a matching pair. So yeah, that is my next one. These are not my colors, so these will definitely be a gift. This is my color, so this is gonna be hard to give away. I might keep these. I have a few, but I might keep these. We shall see. But this is such a great car project. You don't really need the pattern in front of you. Once you do 2 rows, it's easily memorized. And it's a great project for the car or anything like that. When you're talking to people, you don't have to really keep track of anything or count. So that's really nice. I've been working on them. When we go up north to Chicago is when I did these blue ones. I'm just whipping around dishcloths, I swear. All right. My next knitted work in progress is my bendy arrow shawl, and this is what it looks like when it'll be done. And it is by Charlotte Bory. This pattern was gifted to me during the Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted thing that was going on Instagram in November, so I was super excited to get this pattern. The bag is by the beautiful and talented Amy of the Little Tailoress. I adore this bag. I just love it. It's so me, so vintage. And thank you so much, Amy, if you watch. I really appreciate it. So I am knitting this bendy arrow shawl. My yarns are BU Fibers. Look at those gorgeous speckles. We all know BU Fibers. I love Marie's yarn. This is her card. This is the Stranger Things colorway on her Tough Sock, 463 yards, 75/25 superwash merino nylon. BU Fibers. She's on Instagram and Etsy. And so this is just a regular 75/25 fingering. This is my first time making an entire project out of a singles yarn. So this is Sunshine Yarns in the Peacock colorway, and I don't know how this happened, but the tag ripped. But you get the idea. They are online, they have their own website. This caked up beautifully, no problems whatsoever. This was a nightmare to cake up. So I caked up one of my, I also have single ply in my shop, and I caked up one of mine and it was perfectly fine. This had about, sadly, 8 breaks in it. So it was a nightmare to cake up. I don't know. Maybe, hopefully it was just that skein and nobody else has problems with that yarn. But for me, it was a nightmare, as you can imagine. Okay, I have gotten quite far on this. Let me untangle it. Yeesh. Okay, I just do not want to lose any stitches. So, it's going to block out a lot bigger. A little bit bunched up on the needle right now, but this is how it's knitting up, and I love it. I think it's going to be super wearable with the blue and the gray. I'm knitting it on, I believe these are Knitter's Pride cubics. I believe so. I know they're cubic something, and I am actually knitting them on a 32-inch cable, but I am loving this arrow detail. My progress keeper is a pizza progress keeper that I made, and I put a few in the shop. And so I am right here on the pattern. Pretty soon I'm going to be only doing the gray, and then I'm going to start the short rows. So yeah, I was really gung-ho on this. I was doing this every day, working on this project every day, and then I started on my Michigan Avenue wrap, and then after that I started my next shawl design. So hopefully I will get back to this weekend. So that is all of my crochet projects. I'm not going to show you my scrappy blankets today, only because I will just show them next time. They've grown a little bit, but it's okay. I'll show you next time. I've got so many other things to talk about anyway. So my next project I have in a bag that my friend Cindy made me. Mrs. Cozy Couch on Instagram. She makes beautiful bags. And I am working on the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Sweetest Pie Stitch Along. So far I have the key lime pie is completely done, and I started the pumpkin pie the other day. I have this on a 8-inch Q-snap frame, and my little needle minder, I believe, is from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery or a needle runs through it on Etsy. I just love this project. I have all the shelves done. All the shelves are cross-stitched. And so now I'm just starting on the pies, and then once all the pies are done, I'm going to do, there's a brown lattice frame to do around the whole thing. But I haven't cross-stitched in a couple of years, so it was a lot of fun to start this project. I have several of their patterns I plan on making soon, but I just can't get over that little face. I love all the cross-stitch patterns that Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery has. They are super cute. They always have a little face. They only have one more month left to this stitch along, which is the Sweetest Pie. I can't wait to see what pattern they're going to come up with next. And also at this time, they are doing the Into the Jungle stitch along that I know Candace of Transistory is doing as well. Transistory? Pin Feathers and Pearls. You know who I mean. She's working on it. The sloth was the first little square that they revealed. It was just so cute. So I have one last work in progress I'm going to show you, and it's actually a quilt I've recently started. So please disregard the millions of threads all over it, because there are a bunch. This is a Tula Pink quilt. So all the colored squares are Tula Pink Fabrics, which is my absolute favorite fabric designer. And this is the Eden fabric collection. So there's different patterns to go with it, but I love the butterfly, the fun bright florals, the tigers. It is just so cool. So I'm going to do this to fit our full-size bed. It is 16 rows down, and I forgot how many across. I think it's 16 by 17. And to match our gray theme that we're doing throughout the whole house, I've just put a 2-inch bit of fabric between each one, and then between the rows there's going to be another row of gray fabric. So it's not really a pattern per se, it's just I bought 4 Garden of Eden charm packs, which are pre-cut squares from the Fat Quarter shop online. And so then I laid them all out and put little post-its on each little stack of squares. So this is row 1, and I also finished row 2. So hopefully I will be working on this a lot more, but I've just been working on a lot of other things right now. This one is super cool. I love aqua and the little tigers that are there, the elephant head, and this one is so pretty. It's just gorgeous fabric, and I already have fabric to make another Tula Pink quilt, and I also have a Tula Pink quilt, a log cabin style, with her Elizabeth Selfie fabrics. That quilt is about halfway done, so hopefully I will get working on that one. That one's just a small throw quilt or baby quilt or wall quilt or something of that sort, but this is going to be an actual full quilt. I'm going to back it, I think, in just a gray fabric, just a bit of a print on it maybe. I haven't gotten that far yet. So yeah, I love to quilt as well. So today you've gotten quilt, cross stitching, and knitting. And I'm working on some crochet, but I will show that next time. Alright, so acquisitions. I'm going to show you just a few things that I have gotten recently. I have gotten quite a few things, and I don't want you to have to sit here for 2 hours just showing off all the goodies that I've gotten. Acquisitions. My first one was my Christmas present for my husband. It was a complete ChowGoo interchangeable set, and here's some of the cables. And some of the needles are in use right now. So it goes from size US 2 all the way to US 15. I gasped when I opened this because I did not think that my husband was going to get me something like this. I was just so surprised. He is very supportive of my knitting and my crafting, and it just really touched me that he listens to me when I tell him things. And it's funny, a couple weeks before Christmas he was asking me, you know, like, what are your favorite needles, and you know, do you use this kind or do you like this kind? And he was asking all these questions, and I didn't think anything of it. And then on Christmas morning I opened this and I was just blown away. So I have gotten so much use out of this. This is my definitely most used Christmas present that I received. And he knows this as well, but I don't like the case. I'm just not a black and white or red person, so I'm thinking I'm going to make a patchwork case similar to this with all the little spots for all the needles in like a pretty peach or a mint green or something like that, baby blue, pink. But I know a lot of people have showed off these and they just don't like the case. But it does its job. It's just not the prettiest, but it does its job. I love this set. So if you're looking for an interchangeable set, this is definitely one you should have on your radar. It's just awesome. And honestly, I can get rid of all my needles now except like my zeros, my ones, my 9-inch circs, and my DPNs, because I have quite a few and they of course are not going to be as near as awesome as these are. So it's exciting. That was for Christmas. I took part in the latest fiber share swap. So that was a fun experience. I had a lot of fun. I thought when you signed up for fiber share, like they gave you a partner and then you guys swapped. I didn't realize you swapped with somebody and then somebody else swapped with you. So when I found that, I was like, well, that's really neat, because in that time you have two people to talk with fiber share. So I'm not going to show you all the amazing things that Katie sent me. Awesome. She did wonderful. I'm just going to show you a few of my favorites. So she was actually in Alaska and she got me a really cool Alaska mug. And here is a yarn that she gave me, the Alaska Yarn Co. And this is from her LYS. And it is super squishy. And I'm thinking this would make amazing socks for my husband. Ray's favorite color is this bright blue. So I love that, and she knows I really like enamel pins, so she spoiled me. She got me this Knit Two Together Club enamel pin. This one's my favorite, not perfect with the drop stitch. I think that one is hilarious. She also gave me this heart wool one, and this Yarn and Needles Knitter's Flare enamel pin, which is mint green yarn ball, which I love. I'm going to put these, now that I've shown you, I finally can put them on my enamel pin pendant. I am so excited about these. I made an enamel pin pendant for myself, and then I made a few for the shop. So these are just some of the pins that I have. I have a few more floating around that I need to put on here, but obviously food. The little Morton Salt Girl I just got, which I thought was hilarious. This one I got from Knit Picks, Happiness is Handmade. I love anything with mason jars, so I had to get that one. Hey Arnold. This one's so funny. And one we went to Disney World, so I can add my new pins to this pendant. And I have a few of these in the shop right now. So if you like a way to display your pins and you're afraid that they're gonna fall off of your bag like I was, you can get a pin pendant too. So I'm gonna put these on here as soon as I'm done podcasting. And she also got me this really cute needle gauge with a fox on it. And I also, when I purchased the pin and the mug that matched from Knit Picks, I also got in on their Knit Picks Fleechy they had on sale. I just got the, I think this one's Hawaiian shirt. Yes. And I thought this would make good socks for me or my husband, or make us each a pair of shorties, because we both love blue and teal. I think this is super fun colorway. It would be awesome to make like a baby sweater out of this too. But I think this one's out of the shop now. They clearanced out several of the bleachy colors. I can't wait to see the new ones. I did a swap with Lindsay of Lost and Fawn, and this is the bag she sent me. And we also swapped a skein of yarn, and she sent me Nomadic Yarns. Dobby is a free elf, which is funny because she must really know me, and my colors must not have changed in a few years. My first knitted item, you know, besides a dishcloth or swatch, was a shawl I made out of a ball of Dobby is a free elf. And sadly, if you've been watching my podcast a long time, when I used to podcast before I restarted, that shawl got thrown away on accident, and not by me, but it got thrown away, and it was my fault. It was in a plastic bag. After it was blocked, I didn't put it in a tote bag or anything, and someone must have thought it was garbage. So I honestly don't have my first knitted item, so that sucks. But I have another one now. I have another ball of this. I might make socks though this time. I really liked how it's striped up for the shawl, but this time I think I'm going to make socks. I'm going to take care of it this time. So that was that. I did another swap with my sweet friend Anila from Hawaii, and I think this is our third or fourth swap that we've done. And she spoiled me with a potluck colorway from Hedgehog Fibers. Oh my goodness. I can't use this. This is way too pretty. So that neon pink and the orange and the speckles, I just love this so much. This is going to have to go in a super special project. Can you imagine the cool hat you can make with this? So I have, I think, 4 skeins of Hedgehog Fibers, and I don't know if I can use any of them. They're just so gorgeous. I don't even know how they dye like that. Like, just incredible. So that's on the twist sock base, which is super squishy. And she also sent me a few other things. I was going to bring it and I didn't. Let me go get it right now. Whew. Okay, I'm back. So she also treated me to a copy of Pom Pom Quarterly, which I've always wanted to read, one of these magazines. And these are just beautiful pictures. The entire magazine is just gorgeous. It's one of those magazines where you want to keep. I'm trying to show you a couple pictures that don't have the pattern. This is the sweater that I want to make out of this. And it's also on the back cover. It's made out of lace weight, but I'm thinking if I make it in the smallest size, like triple extra small or something, I can make it out of fingering. Or if I lower my needle size, so it is called the Sombra. I don't want to show you this because this is the pattern. It doesn't say what size. It has to say somewhere. Okay, it says US 6 knitting needles, and there is an extra small. So if I make the extra small size, maybe with a 4 on fingering weight yarn, I can make this. Because I love this, but I don't have any lace weight yarn. And I think I have some really pretty skeins of peach. I would love a peach sweater like that. So this is it. So yeah, I was super excited to get this. There are a couple other patterns I really want to make out of it, but I know for a fact this will be in my future someday. And let's see, is that it? Oh! And my last acquisition I want to show you is a Moda layer cake. So instead of the little squares that is in my quilt. Those are called, oops, those are called charm packs. These 10 by 10 squares are called layer cakes. So this is Canyon by Kate Spain by Moda. And look at how gorgeous those colors are, if you can see the side of the cake. What got me is, I don't know how well you're good to see it, but there are several prints in this collection that are succulents. So anything plant related, can't really see it, but anything plant related or botanical gets me every time. So I am so excited about this layer cake. I think I'm going to, on the back they show you ways to quilt with it. So it says like you can do 4 squares this way or diamonds that way. I think I'm going to do it this way, or actually just cut it in half diagonally and have half and half blocks and maybe put thin bits of yellow around it. I'm not sure yet. This is not a project I'm going to do anytime soon. I want to finish both quilts that I have started, and plus I have another one where I also have squares for, so I might start that one as well. But I could not pass this up. This is too beautiful. So yeah. And that is all my acquisitions I'm going to show you for now. And next we're going to talk about shop stuff. So some of the bags I have in the shop right now. Llama, Keep Calm and Craft On. I have only one left of this and no more of this fabric. Sparkly Easter, Crazy Cat Lady. This really adorable one for Easter. It's vintage looking with the eggs. These are one of a kind. I've got one of this applique butterfly, one of this vintage patchwork, blue in the woods, purple sleeping fox, Bella Rose in Paris, and red in the woods. I keep showing you, well, I guess it's both sides, but I'm showing you the label. So those are the bags that are in the shop right now, and several more. Those are just a few that I grabbed that I thought you'd like to see. And I've got a bunch of DPN cozies that are in the shop. These are just a few of them. We've got elephants, fox, macaroons, bomb pops, cat on the beach. I love this one. Nature with birds, gold stag, coffee, Belle, Disney princess, flamingos, Fruit Loops, llamas, and bookworm. So those are just a few of the DPN cozies that are in the shop. I also have a few of the pin pendants are in the shop right now. And some of the yarn that's going to be in the shop, or is right now, this is part of my Stranger Things collection. This is the Run colorway. Barbie Girl, Peony on Sparkle, Deadpool, Cumulus, At the Hop, Dreamsicle, and Cotton Candy. And last one, How You Doing? And I got some new tags. And this one is a Joey from Friends reference. How you doing? So, yeah, check out the shop, MollyKleinDesign on Etsy. There is several things in there. More added every week. I will be setting up at the Greencastle Fiber event, which is in Greencastle, Indiana, April 13th and 14th. It is going to be a pretty big event. I don't remember how many vendors, but there are, I think, over 50. So I will be setting up, this will be my first vending event, and I am so excited and so nervous. So on top of adding things to the shop, I will also be putting things to the side for the fiber event. So yeah, I can't wait. I'm very excited. It is a less than a month away, and I can't wait to meet so many of you. So come visit me. I'm going to be there. I'll be knitting away and having my little booth. Yeah, I think it's from 9 to 4. That's a Friday and Saturday, April 13th and 14th. It's about an hour away from me, so not too bad. I am excited. The week before that is YarnCon in Chicago. I'm not sure if I'm going to that yet. And then in August is Stitches Midwest in Chicago, and hopefully I'll make it to that. Fingers crossed. We'll see what August brings us. That's pretty far away. All right, I think that's it for the podcast. Let's just talk about general chatter. So it's been 3 months since I podcasted, so a lot has been going on. My husband had some time off because he works on road construction, and you can't really work on road construction when there's ice in the roads on January and February, so it was super nice to have him home. We just had so many good times together and had fun lunches out and did a lot of things, and it was just a lot of fun. He's back at work now, and I miss him dearly, but thankfully for now he'll get to come home. He has some jobs that he will be away from home for a little while, but I try not to think about those too much. We adopted right after I podcasted last time on December 21st, 2017, our precious baby girl, a 3-year-old Beagle Basset Hound mix named Pearl, and she is right behind the camera basking in the sun here in the living room, so I don't want to disturb her, but she is my pride and joy. She brings so much life and love to our little house, and she's just my everything anymore. I can't be away from her. I have to be in the same room, or she has to be in the same room with me. It's just hilarious. This dog is under my feet all the time. She's right under my feet when I'm cooking or dyeing yarn or packing orders or outside, inside. When I'm on the couch, she's right underneath my feet. She's always right there. Thankfully, she doesn't care about yarn much, so I don't have to really worry about if I have a project. I can leave the room and she doesn't eat my project. She's not allowed in the craft room, though. A lot of people have asked when I posted a picture that we rescued a dog. Don't worry, you will not have dog hair or anything of the sort on your products. My yarn and bags and fabric and sewing machine and everything else is in its own room, which she is not allowed, but she does sleep at the doorway because she knows she's not allowed in that room. She just sleeps at the doorway and watches Mom sew and do things like that. Because she's not allowed in there. So it's kind of funny. She knows there's like a magical invisible wall right there that she can't cross. But yeah, she is just the best. I just love her to pieces. She had a very, very hard life, and I'm very glad that we were able to give her such a good one now. We were looking for a small dog to rescue. My husband has been wanting a dog, and I've been wanting a dog, and we have a home now. Well, we have had a home now for a year with a backyard, and I think in December is finally a good time for us to rescue a little pooch. So we went on the adoption websites and we're looking for a small dog. We were going to go meet a dog named Jelly Bean, which was a terrier mix. She was only 8 pounds, and when we got there we found out that the foster mom had already adopted her out. So I was a bit discouraged, but we drove quite a ways, about 2 hours, to go meet this little dog named Jelly Bean. That was the terrier mix. And I asked her, you know, if she knew of any other dogs that we would be interested in, and in came Miss Pearl. So it was love at first sight. She is just so happy. She is such a happy dog. She just loves people. She doesn't like the mailman, which is hilarious because He visits often, obviously, and she does not like the mailman. Nor does she like people like that come to the door, but like she knows friends and family. I don't know. Dogs can sense weird things that we can't, but she does not like the mailman whatsoever. And I told her many times, he brings us happy things. So she better like that mailman. But yeah, she is just great. You can see pictures of her on my Instagram. And adopt, don't shop. Just adopt. There are so many homeless animals out there that need a home. So just look out there, look at the adoption agencies or the foster people, and find a loving dog, because she is amazing. I'm so happy we have her. I don't know if I should give her backstory because it's really sad. So I don't think I will. But she, when we got her, she had to go to the vet, and she had her teeth cleaned because they'd never been cleaned in her whole life, and she had a growth removed from her leg, and that was like it wasn't a major surgery, but she had to be, put under for those, and we had to leave her there for 5 hours, and I was crying because I was worried about her. And when we got home from taking her to the vet and we had to leave her, there was no Poochie there to greet me, and I was already used to that, so I cried. But a few hours later, my husband came and brought her home, and she's been fine ever since. She's just such a great dog, and I can't wait to garden because she will be out there right under my feet planting the garden with me. So that is awesome. Okay. So this is Pearl. She is our new baby. Well, we've had her for about 3 months now, so I thought that you'd want to see her little sleepy face. Say hi! She usually has her little BMO Adventure Time collar on, but she was making a lot of noise with it yesterday, so my husband took it off. That is it for me today. I hope to podcast before the Greencastle event, but if that doesn't happen, I hope to see you there and have so much fun with your knitting and crafting, and come and follow me on Instagram or send me a message, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye. Say bye, Pearl.